Ikaw, you come in when?
Pangulo.
Pangulo. Oo. And you were a reporter.
Reporter.
Oo.
For government radio. At the time, it was called Radyo ng Bayan. The Philippine Broadcasting Service.
Oo, PBS, ano. When did you, kailan ka, when did you first cover?
1993.
93. Ano to? Fresh.
From the desk.
You were at the, nagde-desk ka na. And then, you were deployed
To Malacañang.
to the beat particularly. No?
Yes.
Bakit? Pinaalagaan ba sa'yo?
No naman. At that time, the news director said, I think we need 2 persons in Malacañang, considering it was President Fidel Ramos, his working style. So I think they needed 2 people in Malacañang for government radio. So they asked me, the news director asked me if I wanted, to try the field.
Hala, try. A tour of duty that lasted how long?
Up to 2016, up to Benigno Aquino.
Palasyo lahat, Okay. But sige, let's zero in on on your assignment with FVR. So the entire stretch, Nandun ka,
yes, yes.
From your first,
1993
But
to 98.
tell me, ano yung, what were you thinking about nung, i-assign ako kay FBR? Diba? I have preconceptions about FBR.
No, none yet. Basta lang, what I said was, isign ako sa Malacañang, sige. Because at that time, I lived near Malacañang, so parang pabor, di ba? Then, that's where I stayed. And then, I'm really lucky to have covered FVR.
Bakit?
Because parang that's really where I learned how to cover Malacañang, the presidency. And then there was kind of parang may pressure din sa akin kasi nga government radio. And I found out that FVR listens to DWBR.
Hala.
On his way home, on his way home, on the way to the office, and his staff told me that even when he's in the office, he listens to DWBR and he's the newscast there. So, matakot, di ba? Huwag kang magkakamali.
Nagmo-monitor.
No mistakes.
So pressure. May pressure.
May pressure, pero at that time, parang you felt so fulfilled as a reporter, lalo na for government. Kasi he really gave importance to government radio. I remember there are times that or not only government radio but radio as a whole, he understood that if it's radio, it's always radio first, diba? To break the news, etc. I remember his in-house writer, close-in, Jojo Terencio, used to give me newspaper clippings to be aired in government or in radio, but share it with the other radio guys. Newspaper clipping, and then FVR had marginal notes. So from there, gawan mo na ng storya.
I remember those marginal notes as well, Marie. Tell me about them. Very often, the marginal notes were the story.
Yes. Kasi kunyari, there was this news article and then he has a reaction or directives. That's where he puts them. He writes it down like that.
Yun na yun, Yun na yun
First nila binibigay sa radio. Kasi alam nila that radio will break it ASAP.
O tama, Yung quick, immediate,
Yes.
immediate reach sa.
Also in the provinces, pagka closed for coverage, napatawag niya, where's Radyo ng Bayan? Radyo ng Bayan daw, gano'n. Pasok.
So challenging, Marie,
Challenging, really challenging.
And sinasamahan mo yun,
The provincial trips, you come home late at night and then you have to wake up early again for another flight to the province, di ba?
Oh my.
And even his foreign trips, like he was, I remember there were times when he was criticized for those foreign trips kasi parang sunod-sunod, etc.
makatira
They're
yung
calling
paa.
him the traveling president. But really, my God, they just don't know that it was not traveling for fun. It was really, 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 parang siksik yung mga schedule. You don't have time to fool around or do some stuff.
It was a lot of work.
Work.
And it was
Morning, he'll arrive, kunyari, at night. Early morning, he has schedules already, dire-diretso yan. If he'll arrive noontime, after lunch, ayun na, diretso ulit.
Let's start with the regular day at the palace. So, anong oras nagsisimula ang araw?
Ang araw. Wow.
So, may sikat na ba ang araw o may trabaho na hindi pa sumisikat?
May trabaho na yung ibang tao, may trabaho na tayo. Those in broadcast. But, like he nga, di ba, 4 a.m., he has this notes already. So, parang ganon. There was no time. I think a lot of reporters during FVR's time got married late. Late or after his term.
Ano yun? Dahil ang hirap.
Sobrang pag-cover eh. Di ba?
Nakakailang storya ka.
A day.
Oh.
Oh my God. Wait. Our quota is 4 stories a day. That's English Tagalog. So, bali 8 yon. Pero usually, no FVR time, 10 to 12. That's
Talaga.
English Tagalog
Oo.
at that time.
So nearly every hour meron kang bulletin from
Especially on Wednesdays. Remember, that was his regular press con day. 2 p.m.
Yun, mga 20 yun.
Aside from, and then on Tuesdays, cabinet meeting.
Cabinet. Oh my, you remember, no?
Interview.
Yeah, because it was so regular, you know.
Yes.
You knew when it was coming, and you kind of had, after you got used to it, you kind of had the opportunity to prepare for it na.
Di ba? And on Tuesdays, cabinet meeting, you're allowed to ambush interview also.
And not just the cabinet, kasi before that, clusters.
Clusters, yes.
Heyday ang media, kasi marami story eh.
Daming storya. At saka laging nakaabang sa kanya.
Nakakakain ka pa ba ng matino noon, Marie?
May times na hindi. Pero maybe dinner.
Doon na lang nababawi, Oh my gosh, talaga.
Really, covering a workaholic president is hard, pero yun nga, you feel fulfilled. I remember Press Secretary Hector Villanueva on the last day of FVR. He said, "Now it's gonna be easy for you to cover other presidents," he told me. After experiencing FVR, it's gonna be easy covering other presidents. That's what he told me. Kasi ganun kahirap nung FVR time.
Na-train na eh, no? Nahasa na lahat nung panahon ni FVR. But the other thing was, you were, naging presidente ka ng Malacañang press ko. What did that mean to be head of, di ba, one of the most exacting press corps?
Well, at that time, no problem naman, no problem. But I remember in FVR's letter to me, yung congratulatory letter, he was proud that I was the first from government to be president of the press corps. And wala, he never naman told me na, ganitong gawin mo. No, nothing. Nothing. He just said na maybe better working relations, pero hindi niya sinabi na, ganito, no, nothing.
Walang guidance.
Walang guidance.
Okay,
No
so-
guidance at all.
So let me get to
Para
that.
lang akong not government reporter nga parang private din, because wala.
Patas.
Patas.
Mhm.
And then I remember, this is how FVR, I think many of the reporters who covered FVR looked to him as a father. Di ba? Yung parang father image yung gano'n. Tapos ganito pa si FVR noon eh. I remember one of his aides came to me and said, sino yon? May parang there was a new face. So I said, bakit may problema? I asked, I thought there was gonna be there was a problem, but may problema ba? And he said, no, FVR wants to know the name because he wants to call the reporters by name.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. He knew everybody
Yes.
first name, ano?
Yeah, tinitingnan niya yon. He has a picture of them and then the name para pag kinausap ka or in the ambush interview, he'll address you by name. Oh, Toby, ganito yon eh. Yung parang, no, Toby, but, di ba, parang ganon. Oh, Mia, mga ganon. He calls them first name. Gusto niya ma-memorize or malaman kung sino yung mga reporters covering him because he wanted to call them by their first names.
And I guess it was also his way of engaging, interacting, ano? Walang ano, so walang ano, no barriers. So let me get to that. What was his media policy? I mean, how did he treat with media?
Because it was fair. Wala eh. Open naman siya, di ba? Transparent. He had this weekly press conferences. Tapos mahilig naman din siya magpa-ambush interview, di ba? 2 questions or noon kasi medyo magulo pa. But there came a time that we had to set the rules na it's also for our sake. It's not only for the principal's sake. It's for our sake. Para hindi magulo, di ba? So let's just 2 questions.
Kunyari ayaw niya, pero actually inaabang.
Yeah! Wala, no restrictions. Wala talagang restrictions.
Rolled with the punches. Ano yun? Kaya maganda o kaya masama yung balita na or yung issue na tinatanong?
Yeah, pero sometimes, I remember I asked him a question. It had something to do with the judiciary. Tapos, ito pa pala, I'll let you in on a secret. Ngayon, it's no longer a secret. Pag may mga controversial questions at that time, Marie, ikaw magtanong, hindi ka aawayin.
Oo nga, no? Yeah.
Hindi ka aawayin yan. So, I asked a controversial, parang medyo controversial siguro, but I don't recall what that question was, but it had something to do with the judiciary. Pero alam mo, he answered na konti, like, parang may storya na rin. Parang he answered and then he said, but you wouldn't want your president to be accused of interfering in the judiciary, right? Ganon.
Ang linis pa rin.
Malinis pa rin. Ganon.
Yeah. You know, I actually remember that tactic, Marie. Especially if the boys wanted to ask
diba?
Controversial questions.
Tiga-gobyerno.
Yeah. Or we would pass it on to the girls.
Yeah.
Because he was...
Yun.
Nakailang beses kang gano'n.
Once lang naman. Yun ang talagang natatandaan ko lang. But the rest, hindi naman. Because maybe it's in the way you ask din sometimes, no? Pag hindi ka parang nag-antipati ka or something, maybe it's the way you ask din. So, hindi ka rin niya awayin. Pero parang hindi naman siya ng away. Just a bit. I just remember 2 instances.
Talaga?
Not me,
Na
others.
nagalit siya?
Oo.
Tell me how he gets mad.
Not naman mad. Like, kunyari, there was this reporter who said, I talked to, should I say?
Go ahead.
I talked to Normie Swar on the phone and he said ganito. So, ang answer ni Mr. President, so you talked to him, so why didn't you ask him? Why are you asking me now? Ganon. Ganon lang. But he was not really naman that taray. No. He wasn't.
In fact, yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Nagtaray? No.
No. Well, once in a while, cuts you short.
Yeah.
But I do remember that he didn't like poor, badly phrased questions.
True. True. So what's your question, diba? Or if it's not for Malacañang to answer, he's gonna say, why don't you go to cover the police? Diba? Yung parang ganon siya.
Pass it on. Pass it on. Okay.
Pero hindi ganon ang pagkasabi. Maybe you should cover the police. Go to Camp Crame. Ganon.
And ask them for, yeah. Eh, yung pinapakita niya yung banner, naaalala mo. And he would try to cover the masthead.
Ay, isa sa mga challenging coverages was when he first met with Norm Miswari. Were you there or was it another?
The
I think it was
MNLF.
Justine. I think I remember it was Justine. Kasi I remember her running to the helicopter. That was really very challenging. Pero grabe talaga. Sarap.
Ito
ng
na yung
feeling.
MNLF, GRP, MNLF, yeah.
First time that he would talk to Noor.
Okay. Yep. Anong oras ang call time kung out of town?
4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, ganon. 4 or 3. But thankfully, at that time, there was no traffic. Masyadong mga traffic.
Oo. And where would you guys go?
Air Force, Villamor.
Villamor. Nasakyan mo na ba lahat?
Oh yeah, the
Fokker.
C5. The
C1.
C5 with the dogs and the cadavers.
Hala.
We rode there. The Fokker. They call it the media plane, right?
Yeah.
And also the presidential plane, because remember there was a time when he implemented this policy that in his plane, 1 or 2 reporters would go with him, parang pool yun. This is
yeah.
for local trips.
Oo. Kwento mo yung mga near miss, yung mga close call.
Near miss, Tuguegarao.
Ano na yan? What happened to you in Tuguegarao?
He was like looking out the window and he was like directing the pilot what to do. Yon, parang kasi there's a certain doon sa skies ng Tuguegarao, parang may clouds na you really have to be yung parang adept, know the place. So ending nun, kami landing in Quirino.
Hala, hindi sa ano.
Oo. I know we were able to land in Tuguegarao, but yung parang yung going home, Quirino, via Quirino.
Take off from Quirino. Okay.
I wasn't in that plane, yung mga nag-crash land na ganon, yung mga yung mga sumadsad, I wasn't in that. Pero merong, I was in a chopper ride from Tarlac to Manila, Pangasinan to Manila, na kailangan nag-emergency landing, pero sa may Manila Bay na, hindi pa umabot ng PSG Park. Sa may Manila Bay na.
And everyone actually has his or her own tale of near misses and close calls. But that was, he was in the same plane.
Yes.
Or his cabinet.
Or his cabinet.
So, what's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. Paano ka nag-adapt? How did you manage? Ano yung survival tactics mo, Marie?
Survival tactics? Well, siguro, hindi naman niya tayo pinahirapan ng gusto because you get all the details that you need, diba? Yung he has this paper na, and then he gives priority nga to broadcast, ganon. Yun, ganon.
Bawi sa storya,
Bawi sa storya, actually.
yung coverage. So, kahit na hirap.
Pero kahit nahirap, ang dami pa rin times para magkulitan. Maybe because the press corps was also like family at that time.
And did he have an influence? Did he have a hand in that?
No, I don't think so.
Naging ano ba niya?
I don't think so kasi hindi naman siya nakikialam sa press nga.
Okay. Open. Naku-compare mo ba? Once in a while, you were able to compare covering him with
The others.
other... Huwag na natin pangalanan.
Huwag na natin pangalanan, but then, mas parang madali. The former Press Secretary Hector Villanueva was maybe right when he said na after covering FVR, it'll be easy to cover other presidents. Kasi parang naintindihan mo na yung presidency agad eh. Plus the workings of a president. Tapos kung medyo hindi masyadong masipag, di yan sarap mo, di ba?
But eventually, yun nga, no? Covering the FBR presidency forced you to study also eh.
Yes. Kasi adept siya like in military affairs, not only that, the economy, di ba? So, kailangan talaga. At saka, if you ask questions nga that are dumb, kawawa ka naman.
Okay. You get shut down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think at that time, you had to be adept with, you had to be good in or knowledge in foreign policy sa kanya.
Foreign policy. Economy.
Economy too.
Economy. Okay. Okay. Andun na tayo sa regular day of coverage sa Palasyo.
Parang napapagod na nga ako, iniisip pa lang eh. Tinatanong mo pa lang, papagod na ako.
10 to 12 stories.
At that time.
About that time. And then,
Pero konti kong 6.
talaga,
Konti yung story mo kung 6 at that time.
that and everybody in the regular beats, marami na yun eh. But in Malacañang, that was a low day.
Yeah. Low day. Pag 6.
All right. But wait, you also had a partner. So you had 6 and he or she had 6.
Yeah, but no, when I was there already, my partner would cover only yung mga speeches.
So iba
Kasi
pa
di
yun.
ba? Oo, iba pa.
Yung events.
May events.
So
Iba
pag
pa, yes.
oo nga no. Yeah. You were tandemed with Ed
Satira, Tani Rodriguez,
Okay.
I think Leo Sarne.
Oh yeah, right. Oo nga. Share with us foreign trips. Preparations. You remember getting the briefing
Yes, the briefing paper. Before you leave, there's this briefing, no? Di ba? May briefing. And then you have this briefing papers. You have, what's this? Yung schedule of the president. And then yun, tinitingnan mo pa lang.
Antimano.
And then, yung background of the people he'll meet. Yeah.
Yun yung hindi pa umaalis.
May istorya na.
Yeah. And was that something you appreciated?
Of course. All of us.
Kasi,
Because then, you'll have stories to write already. And also, para sulit. Di ba? Sulit.
okay. Philcoms. You remember the Filipino community? Okay. Kahit saan tayo pumunta, kailangan may engagement with the Philippine.
Philcom, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He started that. Yun talaga, the Filipino community, we're always happy to see him. And then, doon niya pinupush na we will be a tire economy by 2000. That was also where he was pushing yung kaya natin to. And I remember dun sa mga Philcom talaga, he would address their issues. What they want to hear, alam niya. What they want to hear and what they need. Yun.
Prepared siya.
Prepared.
Hindi
Always.
pawardi-wardi.
Hindi pa wardi-wardi. At saka yung speech, hindi kung saan-saan napupunta.
Parang may hugot.
Wala naman.
Okay.
Hindi. Kasi talaga yung pag Philcom, kung ano ang needs talaga ng Filipino community, yun alam niya eh. He knew it.
And it wasn't just, it wasn't just it's one meeting, Every city, di ba?
Yeah, tapos memorized mo na yung speech niya. Kasi, yun nga eh, yung one captain, I'm the captain, tapos lahat tayo, we're on the same ship, tapos yun, kaya natin to, tire economy.
So ano rin, parang coach or team,
Yes, yes.
Oo. And,
At saka prep niya talaga yung, yung Philcom.
that was one staple. The other, well, of course, the other staple was the bilateral with the host, with the host country. But the other one, if you remember, was tell me about yung business community meeting.
Business community, sunod-sunod din yan. And big names, di ba? They were always, that's why nga, I remember, may isang, there was one reporter, kasi usually we don't get it, no? We don't get the stories because that's for business reporters. So yung DTI, I remember there was this one reporter who told the DTI person na, can you give us the stories also? And can you work? Will you please work? Sinabihan niya yun. Sinabihan niya yun, yung tiga-DTI. Kasi sayang mga stories ni FVR with these businessmen and they're really big businessmen, di ba?
Yeah.
So, pag one-on-one, medyo hindi namin nakukuha. Pero pag yung the gathering with the business leaders, yon.
And he would normally bring along a large group of Filipino...
Businessmen, yes. Yon talaga, sa presidential plane. But, they pay for their own, They pay for their fare and also their hotel.
Their accommodations. And he would match them. You remember that?
Match?
Ima-match niya yung, ito yung, di ba? Ito yung negosyo dito, ito yung negosyo.
Yes. He usually brings businessmen or invites businessmen to join his trip. Pag makita niyang that country has potentials of investing in the Philippines na in this field, or you naman, Mr. Businessman, you have a potential there. Ganon.
So that's what he brought together. No? Yun yung
Team Philippines.
Yeah. Right.
Team Philippines.
Yun yung tinawag niya sa Yun yung you remember, 1 + 1 is not just 2, it can be 5, it can be 7. No? May multiplier. Okay. Nandun na tayo sa near miss, sa mga He always said na I am the country's #1 salesman.
Yes,
Can
yes.
Kwento mo nga yan.
Oo, talaga naman #1 salesman kasi nga when he travels abroad, he has a lot of business meetings, and then he also not only one-on-one but also with big groups. So talaga pinapush niya yung Philippines. That's where he really sells the Philippines.
What was he like to ano observations mo? What was he like with his cabinet secretaries?
With his cabinet secretaries?
Stricto ba?
I just remember sa mga presidential flights, he used to joke a lot with them. Tapos hindi ba kawawa sila kasi they cannot catch up sometimes with him. So when they get on the plane, they start to sleep, of course, no rest time. Si FVR, my God, it's gonna tell the photographer, punan mo to, yung sleeping na cabinet secretary. Ganon.
Hinuhuli niya.
Yung huli.
So naglalaro pa rin.
Ay, naglalaro pa rin. Imbis na itulog mo na yan, FVR. Kasi later on, he'll go to the media section naman.
And do exactly the same.
Pero hindi naman nagpapa-interview. Pero, tulog. Ganito.
At kukunan na. Oh my gosh.
With this cabinet, I didn't really get a chance to see how the cabinet works with him. Yun lang sa mga presidential planes lang.
Hindi, pero yung sa cabinet meetings, nakikita
Cabinet
mo naman.
meetings?
Oo.
Yeah.
Some of his cabinet officers actually said he was a taskmaster. Nakita mo ba yun?
Yes.
Slave driver.
Kitang-kita naman, no? Oo nga daw. That's what isang press secretary lang told me about that. Talagang. Kailangan pareho kayo ng work ethic.
Ni FVR. Otherwise,
Pupulutin, di ba? When he asks you, what's the progress here? Tapos,
so everybody
I
had...
don't do you recall him firing? Parang I don't recall him firing so many cabinet secretaries.
Midstream. Sige, let me get to that. Floor contemplation. Diba? 95, 96. He had to get rid of Bobby Romulo and Nieves Confessor. You remember? Ano yung
That was a sad one. Yung kay Flor. That was sad. I remember the atmosphere in the palace. It was kind of gloomy.
Low moral.
Low moral, parang gano'n. That was one of the sad part.
Low point.
Low point.
You remember how he turned it around?
I don't know. Basta bigla na lang gano'n eh. Bigla. Wait, paano nga ba? Do you recall?
No, I do.
I forgot about that.
Okay. Tell me about APEC.
APEC, Subic?
Yep. Manila and Subic. People say it was our coming out party.
Yes.
Sige, kwento mo.
I believe it was the coming out party because yung APEC in Subic was substantial. Aside from that, yung mga preparations and even the facilities were at par with the other countries where we covered. And then parang if my memory serves me right, after APEC Subic, parang the other countries, especially in Asia, medyo they copied how we did it.
Tayo yung naging gold standard. Yeah, you're right. And you, were you able to cover all the apex?
No, not all.
Blake, Bogor, Osaka.
No, not all.
May interactions ka rin with foreign media, I suppose. Okay. Tell me their impressions of the Philippines at that time.
Of the Philippines at that time? Well, at that time, they believed that we would go up because of FVR.
Talaga.
And they also respected FVR.
Confident and optimistic din sila. Did he have enough time to finish what he set out to do?
Parang, no. He did his best, but then there was this 1997 financial crisis.
Yeah.
As lang na inabot. But maybe the Philippines was much better than other ASEAN countries. Kasi I remember in other ASEAN countries, the rich had to shell out, had to sell their things. Swerte lang that we got over it.
We were in a lot
Better position,
shape.
yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know. You're right. Quite all.
Yung mga vision niya about tire economy sana, and kulang pa sana eh. Sana 2 more years.
Kaya ko tinanong yan actually. It's a lead into You remember the People's Initiative at yung pirma?
Yeah.
There were campaigns, to maybe amend the Constitution, allow him to have, ano yung basa mo nun at that time?
What's that?
Ano yung basa mo?
At the time? At the time, parang the people were scared. Hindi ba yung takot sila na baka bumalik na naman sa yung like humaba yung mga termino ng mga presidente. Maybe just like that. But I don't think that it's because they wanted a change already. I don't think it was because of that. They were just maybe not open to the idea of having term extension because of what happened in the past.
Kay Marcos in particular. Yeah. Okay. Right. But eventually, FVR decided. No.
Yeah, I remember it was in Jensan. We came from somewhere. And when we came from somewhere, maybe some ASEAN country, and we landed in Jensan, that's where he announced. He listens to the people. He knows the people's pulse, so no more. Ganun.
So, categorical.
Kasi maybe he felt na magiging istorbo lang to sa akin imbis na makapagtrabaho pa ako ng, 'di ba? Yun ang basa ko sa kanya na talagang FVR was a man who listened to the people's pulse. He will not ram it down your throat. He is someone who listens to the people's pulse.
Tell me about naalala mo yung nagkaroon siya ng
Car. This one here.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
96.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had to be watching him there, di ba? In the hospital. And then they gave out daily bulletins. Ano naman nun, that was scary.
Nag-alala ka?
Of course. Ikaw, hindi.
Oh, no.
Maybe a lot of Filipinos, di ba?
Bakit?
Well, baka magkaroon ng unrest or instability. And sayang naman, di ba?
A good man.
He was a good man. He was a good president.
And yet you're right, Now that you've said it, I actually remember that there were not just daily, pero merong umaga, merong hapon.
Yes.
No?
They were transparent about it.
And I guess also because to allay
People's fears, yes, apprehensions.
So hanggang sa nakahiga na at lahat sa hospital bed, nagtatrabaho pa rin yun. Yung pangulo mo talaga. What was the mood like towards the last year? Yung alam mo ng matatapos na.
Natapos na. Parang you know that you'll miss the guy. You know that you'll miss the person you're covering. Kasi nga, yun nga, yung ang dami mong ginagawa noon, etc. Pero in a sense, parang okay na rin. Okay na rin kasi you learned a lot during his time. Parang gano'n.
And if I remember, it was also, it was 98,
98.
Centennial.
Centennial, yes. June 12.
Wala rin tayong pahinga nun eh.
Wala. We were there in Clark. Yung Centennial Expo. And I remember I was awed by that structure. Ganda, di ba?
So even if he knew that it was going to be, it was the end of his term,
Parang
trabaho pa rin.
Yeah, that's why you don't have time to think na, ay, matatapos na siya. Kasi lagi kang busy, di ba? You're always busy hanggang dumating na lang yung, June 30 na, palitan na sila. And on the days before June 30, yung mga spekulasyon, di ba? Kasi syempre, yung papalit sa kanya, hindi naman niya kapartido. Di ba? Mga spekulasyones, mga ganon. Pero okay naman yung turnover. It was a peaceful turnover.
Oh, tell me about that day. Ano yung naramdaman mo nung araw na yun?
Parang, siguro naman, hindi ko na matandaan, 20 years. Parang it was work pa rin eh. It was work pa rin. Kasi nga, you're so busy. What I remember naman is, before na bumabash si FVR, we had a party with him. In the BRP ang Pangulo, di ba? Where all of us like thanked him for the things he did for the country, not only for the country, pero parang for your personal growth because ang daming natutunan nga under his watch. BRP ang Pangulo.
Yeah, no, a few weeks before.
Kaya nga, di ba, wala ka talagang time na mag-sentimental na, ay, baba na siya, ay, kasi it's work pa rin.
Okay. So, you stayed on, FBR retreated to Citizen Eddie, Citizen Eddie, mode. May opportunities ba over the years na nakikita mo siya?
Yes, when he used to go to Malacañang for some events, Independence Day, mga ganon.
Okay.
And
Kukwentuhan kayo?
of course. Diba? And he does those antiques again, like his glasses. Di ba yung gastos? Wala naman pala. Yung mga ganon.
Anong jokes?
Ang dami. Daming jokes.
What do you tell people about your tour of duty with FBR?
It was the time, I always say that I'm really lucky to have covered FVR. Yun talaga. Because ang dami kong natutunan, really. And then, I was also lucky because he gave importance to government radio.
Walang social cost, Marie.
Wala naman. Although the former press secretary asked me na, doesn't your husband get mad at... He asked, doesn't your husband get mad? Na yun nga yung, you go home late, you leave early. Pero no naman.
No naman?
No.
Okay.
No social cost.
All right.
Maybe the others, a lot.
Meron ka bang do you have a most memorable FBR moment?
Yun nga yung the coverage of Normiswari. And then, actually, ang dami eh. Ang dami talaga. Tour of Greece. When he went to Greece, and he went to the Acropolis, yon. Then he saw si former Senator Miriam Santiago was also there.
Oh, that was something. Talaga, anong ginawa niya?
He went to tour the Acropolis, yung mga ganon. At sakto, nandun din si former Senator Miriam. Yun.
Nag-usap ba? No? Okay. Uncomfortable moment lang.
Yeah, medyo uncomfortable pero funny.
Yeah. And yeah, it was a story. It was a story. Okay. What do you want people to remember of FBR, of the FBR presidency?
That FVR tried his best to lift the economy, and he was really a hard-working president, workaholic. He always thought about Filipinos, the country, and he was very nationalistic. He was proud of the Philippines.
Okay. Yun ba yung legacy niya as president? Would you say that
It
was his?
started to go up, diba, the economy.
Would you do it all again?
What? Covering someone like FVR? Maybe if I was 20 years younger. Pwede. But now, no more. Relax na.
Thank you very much, Marie.
Thank you, Toby.